Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the technique Unfolding the Dark, its execution, some of the things you should know about its execution, some problems that arise, and how to fix for those problems. So let's talk through the idea of the name Unfolding the Dark. So darkness techniques are ones where either A, they're in my obscure zone, as in this case, or B, some of the other ones where I'm in their obscure zone. I may start out in not their obscure zone, in their zone of cone of vision, but then we move into their obscure zone. So in this case, there are three of these techniques. They start from alternating sides, either right or left. So keep in mind that in this case, the ideal phase is right, but it could just as easily be done from left, just like the other two. So we're going to start out facing the camera to make it easier for you to understand what's going on. So this person's coming from my obscure zone, and they're trying to throw a punch. They're gaining distance on us. So what we want to do, since it's an obscure zone, we want to be able to see what's happening and then take advantage of that. So there's one of two things I can do here. Once I start getting that distance, I can either bring everything with me and then try and attack the opponent, however we're going to do it, or I could leave a leg in place, in this case point of origin, and then continue from that point. Regardless of the choice that I make, it doesn't really matter which one you do, you are doing a back kick position, but you're doing it as a side kick. And the reason why you're doing that is because you want to obey the plus X rule. Because if we were to do it as a back kick, there's very little margin for error. We want to maximize that margin for error so that we do it as a side kick positioning. So once I do that, the idea here is I want to stop their forward momentum. In order to do that, I do not want to hit above the knee. I want to hit right below the knee or somewhere under the shin so that they stop that forward momentum, because if they're moving forward and I stop the bend of the knee, that's what's going to happen. They continue to move forward on the top, but the bottom stops, and that gives us the folding part. So one of three things can happen here with that knee. Once I hit this knee, it could either A, buckle in, B, buckle out, or C, buckle back. So this technique does the buckle back, the other two do the other two buckles. So as we said, what happens here is once I do this hit, they begin to do the folding of the dark. Then what we want to do is take advantage of that. So there's an ideal phase and a non-ideal phase. So if I'm in the proper position, the ideal phase says I put the foot down, gauge whatever I need to do, and then do the unfolding of that dark. But there's an alternate version in which you're already gauged properly, they've given us to us, and we don't want to put the foot down. That's perfectly okay. Either one is fine. So the way one would work is you do the kick right from where you are without putting the foot down, you do the unfold. The other one is you do the kick, you put the foot down, you gauge, because for some reason they're a lot taller or shorter than you, and you need to cover some distance, so you cover that distance, and then do the unfolding. What's important for this unfolding piece is the direction in which we're going. We're not trying to hit like we're doing here. This is on the horizontal or potentially even somewhat down. This one is always going up at that diagonal because we want that upper body to unfold. We don't want to send them backwards, which is what would happen if we were going to do it on a parallel to the floor. So that starts the unfolding piece, so that it would basically get them standing straight up or potentially bending back slightly. So let's change the angle now so that you can see what happens once you've gotten to that piece. So we do our kick, we do our adjustment, we do the kick. They begin to fold back, but they haven't completely done it. So what we want to do is gauge that foot again and continue that unfolding, and we're going to do it with our left leg. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to hit down. If you notice what's happening here, I'll move to this side so you can see it. I'm going to hit back of the knee to back of the knee. This is not a sweep. This is a buckle. So if you notice what happens with that buckle, I'm going to move back to here, is that exposes that center line. Okay? So the reason why I want to do that is I want to then turn from this position, and I want to spike on a 12-6, up to down. I don't want to be coming at diagonals, and what I want to do is I want to keep my hand, my elbow, and my shoulder in line. I don't want to chicken wing as I hit this. So as I come in here to this buckle, I want to do this buckle, expose that, and slam them to the floor. Okay? Straight down, just as if I had a knife and I was stabbing the knife to the floor. Now if you'll notice, they're in a prone position, but they do have their majors left on my zone close to me. So the minors are here, the majors are over there. So I do have to worry about these two potentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out anything in my way with my right foot. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to bring this foot across, because what I want to do is I want to side kick them either into the ribs or up above. We'll get into that in just a second. But I don't want to worry about what's going on here. So what I want to do is I want to obey the principle of economy of motion. In other words, not crossing our center line without using it. And in this case, what we want to do is we want to hit to the potential calf area, anywhere, just like we did at the beginning, from the knee to below. And what we're going to do is clear it out of the way using a offensive maneuver. But if they were to use that foot, it could be defensively. So if he begins to pick that foot up, I could then use it as a block. But in the ideal phase, it's used as an offense. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear that foot out of the way, get it up, and then stomp side kick into the ribs. Depending upon my size to their size, I could go anywhere from the ribs to the face, neck, face, anywhere from here up, whatever's available to you based upon your size and whatever gauging you need to do. So I could do a shuffle and kick if I needed to. At that point, we cross out and cover. So let's do a quick review one more time so you can see it. We will do it from this direction. So we are going to do the pull away version. We're going to pull away, force them to bend back and fold. We then are going to place the foot on the ground, gauge whatever we need to do, begin the unfolding. Continue that unfolding by doing the buckle, spike to the floor. Make sure that we keep our elbow, our hand, and our shoulder in line as we begin to spike down, straight down. If you notice, they fell a little bit more that way, so we're going to be able to have to hit a closer target. We're then going to sweep the leg across, striking, getting it up at a diagonal, and stomping down into those ribs with that stomping side kick, cross out and cover. Okay, one more time, we're going to do it on facing the camera, directly facing the camera so you can see it from a slightly different angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out. Up. Hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.